Alright, as promised, here we're going to do some after-run maintenance on the Pro Boat Recoil. And it even has the, what's his name? What's his name on the window? What's the beaver's name? Bucky. Got the Bucky sticker there in the front window from when I visited Texas recently. Got my Savox sticker. I forgot to mention earlier that I do have a Savox servo in this. I said it was all stock, but I got a Savox servo from one of my old planes, and it's awesome. I would actually recommend, well, I don't know. I didn't try the stock prop, so I don't know how it would have worked. Anyhow, there's my Savox servo. And now let's get into the after-run maintenance. Won't make this very long. And this is really all there is to it. You want to make sure your hull's dry. You want to make sure all your hardware is tight. Make sure your turn fins or plane fins aren't messed up, whatever you want to call them. Aren't messed up, damaged. They're still tight. Make sure your bolts here are still tight. This is very important. Make sure this is still tight. Make sure there's nothing in your lines. Go ahead and put your mouth down here and blow through there, and it'll push the water out of your exit hole here, or blow through your exit hole and it'll push your water out of your rudder. Those are your two options. Then you won't have water in the lines. Now there's also a bearing here in the front of your motor, and I believe there's also, or back of your motor rather, and I believe there's also one in the front of your motor. The one in the front's harder to access, but for the one in the back, you just take some of this. That's some after-run bearing oil, whatever you want to call it. Made for high-speed bearings. Make sure you get one for high-speed bearings. Stick it in here, and you put a few drops of oil on that bearing right there. Got a few drops of oil. Once you do that, grab your prop, turn your prop, and you'll get that oil in there. It's very important on these brushless motors. Now, the main maintenance on this, you're going to need a 12mm and a 10mm wrench. I'm videotaping by myself here, so bear with me. You grab the front nut and the back nut. Okay. Look at that, one hand, it's so easy. You loosen that. Sorry for the, this is very tricky with one hand. Hang on. I don't have a GoPro right now. Loosen 2 or 3 turns till that nut turns out by hand, and you just loosen it. You can't loosen it too much, just loosen it all the way, and then it'll be loose enough. You grab your prop and you pull your whole shaft out. And the next thing I like to do is go ahead and wipe this off. Okay, forgot to grab my paper towel. Dishes are super dirty. Alright, we got a paper towel. Clean all your excess grease off of here. Then what I like to do is blow through that hole. What that does is it blows all the excess water that's sitting in that shaft after the flex shaft is gone. There's a Teflon liner in there. It blows all the excess water out through that Teflon liner. Next step is you go ahead and you just clean off this excess oil. Okay. Alright, I'm going to flip the camera over and hope I can catch all this. Clean off the excess oil. Simple. There it is. Once you wipe that oil off, from what I've read, you just let the flex shaft out of the boat. Or you can put it back, but a lot of people just like to leave it out of the boat. That way the rest of that water that's in that little Teflon tube there can dry out. Now, I don't spend a lot of money on after-running or on flex tube grease. I just got this at Walmart, extra heavy duty grease, $3.50. To me, it'll be good enough because it resists melting up to 560 degrees, which I don't think you're going to get anything hotter than that, hopefully, or else you're going to have other problems. It's good enough for John Deere and New Holland and Massey Ferguson, so it should be good enough for a pro boat. So I don't have to have this big giant tube of everything. I just take this little thing, this little Rubbermaid container, and that's what it looks like. And all you're going to do once you're ready to get your boat back in action is just smear some of that onto this flex tube. You don't need a whole lot. You just literally need, you know, let's see if I can show you without. You take some on your fingers and put some gloves on, and then literally just rub it on your flex tube all the way up and down the shaft and on this metal part. Then you slide the tube back in, wipe the excess off, and then after you're done with that, you simply do the reverse thing up here. You just tighten that right there. You just grab this with your wrench, and I'll show you. Grab that like so. And you grab this one once your flex tube's back in and tighten it up and make it pretty damn tight. After that's done and you've checked all your hardware and you put your bearing oil on your motor and you made sure all your connections are all, you know, not messed up or anything, make sure your servo horn's still tight, you know, nothing crazy going on there, then you're ready to go back to the lake or the ocean. If you're running in the ocean, you're going to want to get a little more in depth because that's salt water, more corrosive. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.